This is a quick update on what I've been doing for the past couple of days and some of my progress as a programmer who's forcing myself to learn art. So far, it's been sort of challenging. I've run into a lot of creative blocks. I find it very difficult to get started on things. Since the last video, one of my goals has been to work on an animation in Blender, and I haven't even been able to start that. It's just been too intimidating. I did manage to get some sketches done. I'll show them now. I started drawing these weird, robot fish-looking guys, and that's been kind of cool. I kind of like how they turned out, so I might turn them into something eventually. I might start building a world around that, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about flow theory recently. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially a theory for what fun is. It's used a lot in game design. It pretty much states that fun is this experience called flow state, where your challenge and skill level are equally matched. So you're always doing things where it's a challenge but not super overwhelming. And I think this is a good explanation for why I found it so hard to do art. With programming, I could sit down and do that for hours and hours on end without getting tired. It actually kind of gives me energy to do it. But art is absolutely not the same. Working on art, drawing something, sketching something, it just exhausts me. And I think that's because of a mismatch in challenge and skill. I've been setting too high standards for myself, and compared with my lack of skill, that just creates kind of a not very fun experience that just wears you down, which is probably why I've had such a hard time starting the animation, but with sketches I've been able to do that, at least a few of them. It's been a couple of days since my last video, and I've only made like 5 or 6 sketches, which I don't think is good enough for that amount of time. I've been spending a lot of time on social media just kind of scrolling, and I think the reason for that comes back to flow, and it's just that I was overwhelmed with the challenge that I was giving myself to create stuff that was unique and kind of interesting. But really, I just need to get anything down. And making those weird robot guys helped a lot with that because they're kind of easy to make. You just sort of draw a weird shape and then put some antennas on it. It requires a lot less thinking than making a whole scene, and it's kind of easy to pump them out. So that sort of helped me balance the difficulty a little bit. The main challenge isn't even really the technical part of drawing, it's the coming up with stuff that's unique and interesting. So if the problem is too high of a challenge, I'm going to try to make a simpler animation first. Something like a rotating cube or a bouncing ball, something really easy to do. And I think I need to get into that flow state where I can just do it for hours and hours without getting tired. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about this other than I think it's important to balance the level of challenge that you're giving yourself. I think a lot of art blocks and creative blocks are really just caused by that, by setting too high expectations for yourself. And I think the best way to get around that is to just lower your expectations into something a lot more manageable. Also, not looking at your phone. I've been trying to look at my phone a lot less for the past couple of days, and I've still been at like 4 to 6 hours a day, which is way too much. I really need to cut down on that. So yeah, bit of a short update. I'm not really sure what to do with all the stuff that I make that's not really big enough to get its own video. I think I'll just kind of cram it into update videos like this. Hopefully over the next couple of days I'm able to sort of increase my output a little bit. I think given how much free time I've had and how little other stuff I've been doing, I should be able to crank out a lot more stuff than I actually have. So hopefully by applying some of this flow stuff, I'll be able to make it easier to work on things. That's it for now. See you next time.